faithfully convey value by interpreting great books from around the world. Hello, this is Eczema Book Talk. Today we're interpreting the book Educated, a Memoir for you. This is the debut work of American author Tara Westover.
In its first week of U.S. release in 2019, it topped the New York Times bestseller list and stayed #1 for 80 straight weeks.
It was Amazon's #1 editor's pick of the year in 2019. It ranked second on Debon's most anticipated books list and was Bill Gates's top recommendation in 2019. Author Tara Westover was also named to Time magazine's list of influential people. Tara, a 2019 Time 100 Most Influential Person, was born in 1986 in Idaho's mountains. She grew up in a junkyard, never attended school before 17, but self-taught her way to college and a PhD from Cambridge. She also did a visiting fellowship at Harvard. This book is her memoir. However, Tara doesn't focus on her self-taught journey to academic success in the book. Instead, she shares a bitter story. As education gave her independent thoughts, step by step, she drifted apart from her family. If she stands her ground, she risks losing everyone. What should she do? In this nearly 300,000-word memoir, Tara meticulously details her struggles and choices. As Tara said post-release, she didn't want a success story approach to degrees and certificates that's a respectable void. She aimed to show education's gains and losses. Now, let's listen together to her life story. Tara's childhood was spent at the foot of Buck Peak in Idaho, USA. Her father ran a junkyard, making a living by dismantling old car parts and scrap metal. Her mother was a barefoot doctor and midwife in the mountains. Tara's family had 7 kids. She was the youngest. Unlike peers, her siblings didn't attend school, and the government didn't even know they existed. 4 of the 7 had no birth certificates. They avoided hospitals and medicine. While other kids studied in schools, Tara's siblings grew up in the valley, working in the family junkyard. This setup came from her father's values. Tara's dad was an extreme Mormon, a Christian branch that bans modern desires like tobacco, alcohol, coffee, tea, and Sunday shopping. Father believed the government was dangerous and that schools were a government conspiracy to lead children away from God, so he insisted his family must escape government control. And then, to be self-reliant in nature. Father also believed in Mormon eschatology, trusting that according to biblical prophecy, the end times would eventually come. So, in Tara's memory, she and her family were always preparing for the apocalypse, canning peaches in summer, updating emergency supplies in winter, ensuring they could escape when the world collapsed. One story in Tara's memory best represents her childhood situation: the Ruby Ridge incident. When Tara was 5 or 6, father came home saying a family near Buck Peak refused to send kids to school to avoid government indoctrination. Government agents surrounded their cabin and shot them all dead. Telling this story, father had tears in his eyes. To avoid the same fate, he started preparations, packing emergency mountain supplies, gathering guns and ammo, always ready to flee. This constant vigilance and fear formed the backdrop of Tara's childhood. However, to father, threats only came from the government and the apocalypse. Everything else was in God's hands. Devout families would be protected by God and angels. Even accidents were divine messages. So the family never went to hospitals when sick, and their junkyard was accident-prone. As kids grew up, father put them to work in the junkyard, dismantling car parts and scrap metal for money. This work was inherently dangerous.
To boost efficiency, father forbade gloves or helmets and casually tossed heavy metal chunks, terrifying Tara.
But father would always comfort her. Don't worry, honey, God and angels are right here protecting us. Arm and leg cuts were routine in the junkyard. Tara and brother Sean fell from heights. Brother Luke burned his entire leg welding. Refusing hospitals, mother treated all injuries. 8. Once father suffered full-body burns, welding, face, hands, chest, skin nearly gone, hanging by a thread. He'd rather die than go to hospital, but mother saved him at home. Mother had no medical training, but taught herself to heal, using essential oils and herbs. In Father's eyes, Mother's healing was divine proof of miracles. Father's survival made Mother's remedies famous in the mountains. People lined up to buy her medicines, making them the wealthiest family there. While outsiders saw this life as absurd, young Tara saw nothing wrong. She and her siblings believed their parents' way was best for them. When Father mocked government inefficiency, the whole family would roll on the floor laughing. Both grandmothers disapproved of this lifestyle. Actually, Tara's mother came from a refined urban family with orderly habits, but married a wild mountain boy. After marriage, she and the kids thought Grandma's ways were fussy, like washing hands after bathroom use. Grandma offered to send Tara to city school when she was 6 or 7, but Tara refused, seeing no value in schooling. Tara's mindset wasn't surprising. Our initial worldview is shaped by our family, then adjusted through friends and experiences. Like someone raised on sweet tofu pudding discovering salty versions at college, Tara never attended school. With limited outside contact and like-minded company, challenging Father's beliefs was nearly impossible. But third brother Tyler's rebellion cracked Tara's certain world. 8 years older, Tyler was the family oddball, quiet and bookish while others brawled. Tyler loved stillness, books, and music. In Tyler's room, Tara discovered choir music, bonding them through daily listening after trash sorting. At 17, Tyler stammered his desire for college, stunning the family. Father Ward, "College teaches lies! A man can't feed his family with books and scrap paper." But Tyler stood firm. He passed the college entrance exam through self-study and left home. At first, Tara was furious, feeling her brother had abandoned her and the family. Other brother Tony and second brother Sean had also left home, but both followed Father's path to become welders or drivers. But Tyler was heading to college, a world they'd never understood. But as Tara grew older, her mindset gradually softened. The year after Tyler left, 10-year-old Tara started working in the junkyard, tossing scrap metal day after day, monotonous and dangerous. Tara began thinking, since she admired Tyler, college couldn't be that bad. She caught herself daydreaming about Tyler's college life, making her want to leave even more. What drove Tara to leave was the violence from second brother Sean. Sean ran away from home after a big fight with Father. But when Tara was 14, Sean returned. He was emotionally unstable, sometimes kind to his sister, sometimes violent. Whenever Tara disobeyed him, Sean would suddenly yank her hair, drag her to the bathroom, and shove her head into the toilet. If she still resisted, he'd pin her down and beat her. This happened more often, so Tara would unconsciously scrub the toilet each morning, dreading when her head might be shoved in again. End quote. Sean also frequently hurled verbal insults at Tara.
When he saw Tara talking to boys or wearing lipstick, he'd call her a whore.
Regarding Sean's brutality, the parents were absent. Father was always away, and Mother pretended not to notice. Years later, Mother explained to Tara that it was because Sean had suffered multiple injuries before, making him more pitiful. Tara was stronger than him. The junkyard work and Sean's violence made Tara decide at 15 to go to college. She wanted to study music. Tyler told Tara that Brigham Young University in Utah accepts homeschooled kids, but they must pass the ACT with a score of 27. Tara mustered courage to tell Father her decision. Father mocked her as a traitor, saying God would rage at her shameless pursuit of human knowledge. Father also tried every trick to stop her. Father even made Tara water fruit trees in the fields all afternoon during a downpour. After several arguments, fearing to lose Father's love, Tara was ready to give up, but then Mother gave her encouragement.
Oh, honey, of all my children, I always thought you'd be the one to walk through fire and escape this place.
I never expected it to be Tyler. Don't stay. Go. Don't let anything stop you.
So Tara bought textbooks with her savings and studied desperately.
As a child, she'd only learned basic reading, writing, and math from Mother using children's books. Father stopped that later, believing literacy was enough. More knowledge meant government brainwashing. So by age 10, her only systematic study was Morse code. Father insisted it would be vital if mountain phone lines were cut, but Tara didn't back down. First year she scored 22, second year 28, enough for Brigham Young University. In 2003, 17-year-old Tara stepped into a classroom for the first time, opening a new chapter. But campus life hit her like a cultural tsunami.
Father taught her skirts shouldn't rise above ankles.
At home, she wore men's tees and baggy jeans. Rolling up sleeves made Father call her a whore. Seeing roommates in tank tops felt indecent to her. They shopped and drank cola on Sundays. At home, this was forbidden as blasphemy. Roommates despised her too. Rotten peaches in fridge, dirty dishes, stench at the door. Tara thought it fine. Tolerable smell meant clean. She lived the same way. Showered weekly without soap, never washed hands after bathroom. When roommates recoiled, she thought, such fuss over nothing.
It's not like I pee on my hands.
She didn't check schedules either. First class, accidentally walked into senior seminar. After failing first quiz, realized textbooks were for studying. In Western art history, she raised hand.
Professor, what's Holocaust mean?
The room plunged into dead silence.
After class, her desk neighbor scolded her for joking about it.
She went to computer lab to look it up. This term refers to the Nazi genocide against Jews during World War II. Mom mentioned it when I was little, but mistakenly thought it was a minor clash, killing only 5 or 6 people. After first semester returning home, Tara realized she'd changed while resuming junkyard work. With grease on her face, Sean called her the N-word. Tara used to find this funny, but now got angry. Tara understood Sean hadn't changed. She had, now grasping the word's heavy meaning. But Tara still identified with everything at home. Her first boyfriend asked, "Aren't you angry your parents didn't send you to school?" Tara bloated, "It's an advantage!" The answer came almost instinctively. Tara believed her father's views should be her own. When sick at school, she refused doctors and medicine because Mom said medicine was special poison that never leaves your body. Your body slowly corrodes for life. If you take medicine, your babies will be deformed. She also struggled financially. To stop her schooling, Father gave almost no money.
Tara studied day and night for scholarships, working for Father during breaks.
While studying, she cleaned at 4 a.m., tutored, still couldn't pay rent. Always borrowing, even considered selling blood. When struggling badly, a BYU teaching assistant suggested government grants, but she refused. "'Cause Father warned, that's how the government recruits you. Free aid hooks you." Next year theirs. This continued until she couldn't afford textbooks. Only after strong urging from her bishop and roommates did she reluctantly apply for aid. When she got a $4,000 check, she called demanding to return $3,000. She only needed $1,000, but was told, "You got this because you qualify." Tara paid debts, rent, bought textbooks, planned to save the rest. Until the bishop reminded her of annual aid eligibility. Then she bought a church dress. Later, Tara reflected this aid application was her first real step from her parents. It was her first trust in government and first betrayal of her parents. She originally thought that money was meant to control her, never expecting it could bring her peace in class. The second step was education revealing her father's issues, further shaking her core worldview and values. In a sophomore psychology class, the professor mentioned bipolar disorder, a mental illness with symptoms like depression, mania, paranoia, and delusions of grandeur. And persecutory delusions. Tara was suddenly struck. She thought of her father. The professor said the average onset age is 25, and it was at 24 that Father first refused hospital births for Mother. Around 30, he pulled 3 kids from school, banned all education, and denied birth certificates. Even more alarming, Tara brought up the Ruby Ridge incident in class. Research revealed the truth unveiling intensity. The father was wanted for selling guns to white supremacists. Resisting arrest got his family killed in a government standoff, but her father claimed they were executed for refusing public schooling. Tara was stunned. What her family devoutly feared was her father's fabrication. Her whole family had paid for his mental illness.
Returning home, she screamed hysterically. "Why did you terrify us like that?"
Why fight imaginary monsters fiercely while ignoring the real ones in our home? Father stood dumbstruck and silent. Tara's first confrontation with him. That sophomore summer, she refused to go home or call him. For the first time. Only after nearly a year, when Father suffered full-body burns, did Tara return to care for him. By then, his ideology couldn't confine her. Thirsting for knowledge, she flourished academically. Continuous learning expanded her horizons, helping her find her purpose. Originally planning music studies, her interest shifted to history, geography, and politics, subjects radiating timelessness. Learning about Margaret Thatcher, the 38th parallel, and the Jewish diaspora made the world's vastness unimaginable. What was life like back in the mountains? With a teacher's recommendation, Tara joined the study abroad program at Cambridge University and earned the chance to continue for a master's degree due to her outstanding research skills. From there, she pursued a PhD in intellectual history at Cambridge and went to Harvard for a visiting fellowship. So, in the UK, she found her own circle, made close friends like family, drank coffee for the first time, traveled to Rome with classmates, and grew more confident academically. She wanted to know who decides what historical truth really is, because she lived the first 17 years of her life in the history constructed by her father. She integrated her struggles and questions into her research topics. A vice chancellor at Cambridge said Tara's thesis was one of the best he'd seen in over 30 years of teaching. She was pure gold academically. It seemed all the hardships of the past were repaid through her academic research. From 17, first entering a classroom, to 27, earning a PhD from Cambridge, Tara grew at an unimaginable pace over this decade. But in her book, she writes little about how hard she worked or her academic talents. She cares more about how education changed her relationship with her family. And compared to Tara's continuous growth, everything at home remained unchanged. Father was reluctant about his daughter going to the UK. Before departure, he came to the airport to see her off, his expression filled with love, fear, and loss. He said he buried 1,000 gallons of gasoline underground, so if the apocalypse came, wherever his daughter was in the US, he could bring her home. But if she went overseas, he couldn't help. Tara graciously accepted her parents' love, but brushed off conflicts over values with silence or a laugh. She hoped to maintain a balance between her new self and her family, but this superficial balance was bound to break. The catalyst was a meeting with her sister Audrey. Audrey fully inherited her mother's habits. Her home was filled with the scent of essential oils and herbs. She had 3 children but didn't send them to school, homeschooling them instead, and she refused it, and one said that. Once, during a holiday visit to Audrey's home, in casual conversation, Tara unexpectedly discovered that Audrey had also suffered violence from Sean.
Moreover, Mother didn't believe Audrey, so Audrey suggested that the sisters confront their parents to demand justice.
With Audrey's support, Tara found courage. They first approached Mother. Surprisingly, Mother not only apologized for failing to protect Tara, but acknowledged how Father's bipolar disorder hurt the family. My father refused to believe Sean had violent tendencies. He roared at Tara.
Where's your proof? Got any evidence? Won't you be happy till Sean's locked up? Did you come back from Cambridge just to tear this family apart?
Throughout, Mother stared at the floor silently. Tara felt a long, buried part of herself erupt, sobbing violently while nauseated.
She rushed to the bathroom, trembling head to toe.
Staring at her childhood mirror, where she'd forced smiles after Sean's beatings, she saw the obedient daughter who'd pretended everything was fine. That was the submissive Tara who'd conformed to please her parents. But education had revealed another Tara, her true self, who pursued knowledge. Years later, Tara realized this bathroom moment widened the family's 20-year rift beyond repair. She couldn't fake peace anymore. In that instant, the compliant Tara vanished, replaced by her authentic self with independent thoughts. When Tara exited, father had already summoned Sean. Sean forced a bloodied knife into Tara's hand, demanding suicide, while parents pretended not to see. To survive, Tara lied. "I never said those things. Father misheard." That night, Tara fled. Passing Sean's house, she saw his dog slaughtered in the snow, stabbed to death, likely with the same knife Sean forced on her. After that night, the narrative flipped. Not only did Sean and parents blame Tara for losing control, but Audrey emailed father's words. "Forgiving Sean is God's will. Refusing makes your sin greater than his." Audrey blamed Tara for igniting her anger, saying Tara was controlled by Satan, betrayed the family, and was no longer welcome. Oh, Tara knew her parents would tell every relative she was Satan-possessed. Fear of losing family plunged her into self-doubt. She wondered if she was delusional about Sean's violence, until meeting his ex-girlfriend and witnesses who confirmed his brutality. She even resented education for dividing her from family, thinking, "I wonder how you move for it. Without college, I'd never doubt or be abandoned." When asked if she considered leaving her family, Tara answered firmly, "Never once!" Nor had her parents given up. During her Harvard stay, parents demanded to visit, hoping to save their demon-possessed daughter. For 1 week, Tara resolved to abandon truth and reason to regain parental love.
But on Harvard's final night, when father placed hands on her head demanding repentance, Tara said no. Years of struggle were about building her mind with truth.
If she yielded now, she'd lose control of her own thoughts. What father wanted to exorcise wasn't a demon, it was Tara herself. So parents stormed off, saying they'd rather sleep on airport chairs than share space with her. Only then did Tara admit there's no middle ground. Return or leave forever. This shattered her mentally and physically. After their departure, she'd scream and sleep, run into streets, skip classes, and withdraw from friends. She stopped seminars, locked herself in binge-watching TV. Her advisor warned this would cost her PhD, but Tara couldn't stop, even developing severe skin allergies. She nearly quit Harvard to return home. Current opportunities felt hollow. The little girl in the junkyard was happier. Summoning courage, Tara slipped back home, only to find Mother emailing others about her. Tara realized her family could save her. Only memories remained. Mother's email confirmed this. Disillusioned, she packed childhood diaries to leave her parents. Perhaps sensing finality, Father gave a stiff hug.
"I love you, know that?"
Tara replied.
I know! That was never the question!
These were her last words to him. They exposed the core conflict between them. The issue wasn't love, but when someone loves you yet controls you in its name, what then? When abandoned by all, brother Tyler stood by her first. Tyler and his wife both earned PhDs from Purdue University. Unlike Audrey, Tyler believed Tara and confronted their parents. In a letter, Tyler wrote, "Our parents are trapped in cycles of abuse and control. They see change as danger. Any challenger gets exiled." Ultimately, Tyler, too, nearly severed ties with them. With therapy, Tara gradually regained stability. She resumed reading and completed her doctoral thesis. This family rupture plunged her into 2 years of darkness. After her PhD, Tara settled in London with her partner. Surprisingly, maternal relatives embraced her with familial love.
Mother avoided solo meetings, but Aunt eagerly awaited her visits.
Short stays. Tara last saw parents at Grandma's funeral, reuniting siblings as the family split officially. Among 7 siblings, Tony, Sean, Luke, and Audrey sided with parents, all without high school diplomas, working for them with spouses. Tyler and Richard supported Tara. Richard later entered college through self-study. While pursuing his chemistry PhD, Tara wrote this book at 32 with Tyler and Richard's help. Their contributions validated the authenticity of her memories. After publication, the book immediately caught the attention of mainstream U.S. media, topping bestseller lists and receiving strong endorsements from Bill Gates, former President Obama, and Oprah Winfrey. People marveled at Tara's courage in transforming herself after leaving the mountains. About her self-reinvention, Tara said people might call it transformation, rebirth, hypocrisy, or betrayal, but she calls it education. The original English title is Educated, meaning having received education. The Chinese edition title, You should fly like a bird to your mountain comes from the Bible, symbolizing both escape and finding new faith. This phrase mirrors Tara's inner journey. In essence, escaping and self-construction are growth challenges most people face. From birth, we understand the world through our parents' guidance. Then we leave home, get educated, meet diverse people, and grow in society. We become more independent and self-aware, yet increasingly diverge from our parents' views. From trivial debates like drinking cold water to major life choices, parental love can feel like shackles, hard to escape yet harder to defy. Most fortunately find ways to reconcile with parents. Others, like Tara, face complete breaks from family and past.
Post-publication, Brother Sean accused Tara of lying in Amazon reviews. Mother denied the book's accuracy on Facebook.
Mother claimed they love their daughter but despise her using memoir writing for fame, revealing their irreparable rift. This chasm only widened with the book's success. In a conversation with Oprah, Tara discussed her understanding of love. She said, "You can love someone and still choose to say goodbye to them. You can miss someone deeply, yet feel relieved they're no longer in your life." Well, that's You Should Fly Like a Bird to Your Mountain. This concludes our interpretation of the book. Reading notes are below the audio. See you next time.